To play Windfall, you first choose 3 out of the 8 Guardians, and a 40-card deck made of spells, relics, and summons. Each card is different based on its attack power, health, and aura cost. Let's look at each card type and see the differences. Guardians come into play at the start of the game, but you only use 1 per round in a best of 2 out of 3 matchup. If we look at their card, we can see exactly what they are capable of. Each Guardian has an attack power which dictates how much damage they do to an opposing force. Their health is their life total. Once it runs out, they are dead, and the round, or game depending on the match thus far, is over. Guardians do not have an aura cost, because they are the ones who use aura to cast cards. Instead, you devote any card from your hand each turn to your Guardian in order to level up. The amount of aura determines the Guardian's level and which abilities they can use. Once per turn, Guardians have a devote and Guardian action. A devote action may be used to take any card from your hand and place it under your Guardian. This is now considered devoted, and you can draw aura from it once per turn. The number of cards devoted determines the level of your Guardian. Aura that is drawn may contribute toward the aura cost of any card in your hand. Devoted cards are persistent throughout the game and replenish at the start of your turn. Guardian levels do not decrease simply because you used aura to cast a card. Guardian actions can be used to either attack, defend, or use a Guardian ability. Guardian abilities are restricted, however. In order to unlock a Guardian ability, you must have an equal amount or greater of devoted aura to the number that corresponds to the ability on the card. Guardians also have a special ability called a limit. This limit is a powerful move that can only be used once per game of a 3-round match and may be used at the start of your turn. This limit is a powerful move that can only be used once per game. There are 2 ways to use your Guardian's limit. One way is to have enough devoted aura to correspond with the appropriate level listed. The other is to have a total health equal to or less than the critical health at the bottom of the card. If you fall within the critical health range, then you have the option to roll a limit die. This is a d20, and when rolled, if you get the number equal to or more than your current health, you can then have access to your limit this turn. If you fail to achieve your limit on a particular turn, you may try again on the next turn in the game as long as you are still in critical health. Next, we have spells and relics. These cards are rather similar to each other in the fact that they both have an aura cost and an ability. Your Guardian must have enough aura devoted to use a card. If you, for instance, have 4 cards devoted to your Guardian, and you play a 2-cost card, then you have exhausted 2 aura. You still, however, have 2 aura you may draw upon. The way these cards are different is that spells are a one-and-done deal, meaning they only last 1 turn. Relics are permanent until destroyed. Summons are a little like Guardians in the sense that they have both an attack and health level. However, these 2 have an aura cost just like spells and relics. Summons, like Guardians, can engage in combat and are permanent to the field until destroyed. Now that we know how the cards work, let's talk about how to play the game. This particular game type is called Highlander. Each player begins with 3 Guardians and a 40-card deck. Each player chooses a Guardian to begin the first game. This is a best 2 out of 3 matchup. Once your Guardian is placed on the field and exposed to your opponent, each player will draw 5 cards. Roll to see who goes first, the highest number wins. Player 1 goes first, but does not draw. Guardians must start the game in defense mode. There are 3 different kinds of modes in Windfall. One is attack mode. You turn your card into attack mode to signify an attacking action. It must be in attack mode to attack your opponent. Defense mode is a blocking action. When in defense mode, if damage is dealt to your Guardian or summon, it reciprocates damage, totaling its own attack power. The cards stay in this mode until the start of the next turn. The last is base mode. At the start of each turn, all summons and Guardians return to base mode. Only summons and Guardians can engage in combat. In combat, a summon or Guardian can deal combat damage to an opposing summon or Guardian, no matter what mode they are in. The opposing summon or guardian receives that much damage off of their health total. If a summon or guardian you control attacks another summon or guardian in defense mode, then not only will the opposing summon or guardian receive damage off their health total, but the attacker will receive damage equal to the opposition's attack power. Let's talk about attacking specifically. In Windfall, combat is free form. The active player has the choice to attack any opposing summon or guardian, unless the opposing enemy has a summon or guardian in front line in defense mode. There are two lines, front and base line. Front line is exclusive to defenders who must be engaged in combat at least once before cards in baseline can be engaged. This means that in order to attack a guardian who may be at baseline, you may have to attack a defensive summon or guardian in the front line at least once beforehand. When player 1 is finished with their turn, player 2 can then go. Player 2 draws at the start of their turn. Players draw at the start of their turn for the rest of the game. One aura may be devoted each turn unless a card allows otherwise. The game is over when a guardian dies. Game 2 then begins with each player selecting a new guardian and shuffling their decks. The first player to win 2 games wins the match.